Hello guys, I'm here from Not Toys Action Figures bringing you another Power Rangers Lightning Collection video, and this time we're actually doing something completely different to what we usually do. We usually do reviews and look at figures, but I thought, you know, what would be quite kind of interesting is I want to do like a two-part kind of video or series about ranking all of the Lightning Collection figures. So you can see here, I spent a very long time, and I think I've got every figure making a tier list. So if you don't know what, or a tier maker, if you don't know what a tier maker is, you basically create a sort of, you know, a number of different items, or people do it with games, people do it with movies, they do it with pretty much everything. I searched, there wasn't a Lightning Collection one, so I thought, hey, I'm going to make my own. And I'm also going to release the kind of the link to this page, so afterwards you guys will be able to make your own Lightning Collection tier list and rank your own favorite figures in it. So it will be available after the videos come out. But yeah, how it works is that you have an S tier, which is like the best tier. You have an A tier, which is the second best, and then it goes down to D. And yeah, this episode, what I want to do is rank all of the figures that I own. And then tomorrow on Saturday, which will be November 18th, I will be doing a live stream where I want to invite all of you guys in to help me rank the rest of the Lightning Collection figures. And you can see there is a lot. I think I've got about 200 here. I think there's one that is missing, and there is some rules about what I did. So basically I created a different picture for every single figure that is a unique figure. So there might be some that maybe there was some limited edition box or something in America, or maybe there was some re-release somewhere. If it's just a unique figure, I just put the figure as its own thing. So you can see here we have the Cobra Kai crossovers, we have the Ninjetti ones. So yeah, I'm doing it per figure. Here we have the 2-packs. I've listed those all as one thing, and I've also listed the teams. We have Omega somewhere, and we have the Psycho 5 Rangers. They're all one kind of item as well. And yeah, we're going to rank them. So like I said, this will be available for you. So if you enjoyed the video and you want to make your own, after the stream on Saturday, this will be going up live, or I'll post the link, I'll put it public, whatever it is, however Tiermaker does it, so you can make your own tiers. And you can hit me up on social media at Toys AF, or at Not Toys AF, I should say, and you can share your links with me. I'll also probably post it in the Lightning Collection Reddit. So yeah, if you're a Reddit member, you can also kind of go there and use it. And yeah, I'm excited to see what you list. So yeah, for this first video, we're going to start with the figures that I own. And again, this is just my personal preference. It's here to, I want to make this video to kind of have some discussion, because the point of it is that, you know, next year the Lightning Collection is going on a hiatus, and yeah, I'm trying to like summarize what we have right now, and hopefully after the hiatus we can get some new figures and start a new rank. So yeah, this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to like annoy anyone or get on anyone's nerves. Like I said, it's here for discussion. So if you guys have wanted to discuss it, let me know down in the comments which figures you think should be in the S rank. And that's also why I want to live stream it, because for the rest of the Lightning Collection, because for the figures that I don't own and haven't opened, I don't want to really, I mean, I will give my own opinion, but if people are in stream or in chat and give their own opinion where they think it should be, we can kind of do it together as sort of a community. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Like I said, this took me hours and hours to make these images. It took me forever because I wanted to make it for kind of the community and for anyone to use. And like I said, I'm pretty sure there isn't any sort of anything like this on Tiermaker. So I hope this is the only Lightning Collection one. If it isn't, then whatever. I had fun making it. But where to begin? Because yeah, we have actually quite a few Lightning Collection figures, as you guys have seen, and maybe I don't really have a specific ranking system for these for the letters. Like I said, S is the best, D is the worst, and I think most of the figures are probably gonna fall into this range. There's one that I know already that maybe we should start with. I think an S ranked figure, one of the best figures that I've seen probably in the Lightning Collection, definitely this year, and that is the new Rita Repulsa. Let's start off strong. The new Rita Repulsa figure, and maybe if I can edit in, I might edit in some B-roll, hopefully showing you the figures. But the new Rita Repulsa figure is chef's kiss. It is by far, I think, the best Lightning Collection figure we've ever had. Her facial sculpts, her soft goods, even the kind of the body underneath, even though it's an old, I think it's a single jointed elbow, it's not with the new two pins. there's just something about this figure that just looks great. Like I love how the kind of engineering behind the design. So how they instead of having to make 3 separate heads with 3 different expressions, they managed to just make it so that the faceplate comes off. You can switch it on. She looks great. Even like the jewelry on her hands and on her fingers, on the neck, you can kind of see the thing hanging down here. It's just also detailed and so intricate. And it's a massive contrast compared to what looking at the Rangers themselves, because Rangers tend to be always the same body with just a different helmet. This was so different because all of it is completely unique. She was a little bit more expensive. I think she's classed as a deluxe release, so it was a bit more expensive. But I felt like for what you get, the 3 faceplates, the staff, the extra hands, it's great. And I just love having her, posing her with figures with Rangers, because she looks so good. So we start out strong. We'll start with an S rank, and that is the Rita Repulsa. So I'm looking now. I think next, why don't we rank one of her minions? So we look at King Sphinx. King Sphinx, I think, is quite it's one of the older, or it's been out quite a while now. Like King Sphinx and the Pumpkin Rapper. I think they were the 2 original monsters to be released. I think they're also classed as deluxe waves, but don't quote me on that. Or maybe if you know, let me know in the comments. And there's a lot to like about it. It's a big chunky figure. It's a lot of plastic. It's a monster, so its size next to the Rangers, again, the scale is fantastic. There's a lot of things I like about it, but there's one thing that really has always put me off, and that is that the mouth isn't painted in properly, and that he feels like he needs like a wash sort of over him, so that the grey doesn't look so plasticky and almost like zombie-like. He needs a little bit of detail, and I think that's what's missing for him. And I think that's one of the reasons why he quite quickly became like one of the prime sale candidates. Like I picked him up probably a year and a half ago, and I got him for like 20 euros. So I think if we were to rank King Sphinx, I think it's a good first attempt. I think we can see as we go into the figures and the monsters later on, you can see the improvement, especially if you compare him to Pudgy Prig or to the Paran. I can't remember how you say his name. I was hoping that it would appear the names actually on the images when I click on them, but obviously that's not the case. I think it's one of the good starters. I think they have gotten better with the monsters, so I think we have to put him in the C rank. Then going on to next, then who should we go? So I just have to think of what we have. Okay, we have Dino Charge Black. If you're a follower of the channel, I actually picked up the whole Dino Charge team quite recently, and so far I've done reviews on black, gold, and red, and I still have green and pink left to review, and hopefully around Christmas or Black Friday I'll buy the new blue figure if it goes on to sale. But Dino Charge Black, what I really like about Dino Charge Black is that he has like a unique box. I think it was one of these ones where they did this unique, because the box, usually the old art style, it was white with like the figure's face on the front. This one they did it all black with the black figure, which just makes it look really nice and really stand out. And the figure itself, the Dino Charge figures, I really like all of them. Like I'm really excited to check out pink and blue just to see how they look with the more modern bodies. But black, gold, and red are all fantastic. Black itself, I think he has the problem with the Dino Charge figures is, especially the early ones, they don't really have their unique weapons. I know pink has it, and I'm not sure if blue gets his unique one, so that's one thing that brings it down. But Dino Charge Black, I love Black Rangers. I love how like the character design itself with the dinosaur on the chest and then the helmet that looks like it. So I think I would put Black in B rank. I think it's a solid figure. It looks good. It could be a little bit better, and and I think there are other Dino Charge figures that are maybe better than the black one, which, why don't we just go straight onto it if I can find it somewhere here. I think how this is, oh no, that's a lie. I thought how it would be ranked is by wave, because that's how I saved all of the names on the as all of the images, so it's like wave 1 whatever Ranger. But yeah, speaking of wave 1 whatever Ranger, we have Dino Charge Red again. I think you've got to put red a little bit higher than black, and one of the main reasons for that is because, like I said, it's in wave 1, and I think the wave 1 figures, they really came out of the gates and were like, boom, this is what we can do. And then I think since then some of the detail on the figures has gone down. For an example, with Dino Charge Red, on the back of his hands he has like a silver plate, and on all of the other Dino Charges that I've opened up since then, they all just have white hands. So I think they kind of came out to be like, look, this is like a very intricate character design. Let's make a figure out of it so that we can show how good we can make these figures. And Dino Charge Red really does stand out. And I think just because of those little extra bits of details that they added to Red, I think it has to go higher than Black. I would still say that, yeah, the swords on the Dino Charge, the early ones at least, they feel very cheap and flimsy. And that he also doesn't have a unique weapon. But still, I think when you compare him to Black, he has like a little touch more. So that's why I would put him in A. Then if we go on to the next one that I opened, I think Dino Charge Gold, if I can find him somewhere. I bet you guys are screaming at me that you can see him. It's a problem with some of the Rangers when they all have these very similar colours, that they all sort of blend into one another. And like I said, there he is. I thought it would be ranked like how I saved it. So like, yeah, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, but it obviously isn't. Dino Charge Gold, for me, that's an easy A. This is actually my favourite Dino Charge figure that I've opened up because it's, or at least the lore behind the Dino Charge Gold is that he is a knight from like the 13th century that comes to the present and helps out the Dino Charge team. And I love that is how that is shown in his character design, that he looks like a Dino Charge character or ranger, but he still has these kind of tweaks of or these kind of details of this like old 13th century knight in armor. And again, he's a Gold Ranger. I think Gold Rangers always look great. He has his unique weapon, which is like the sword that kind of opens up. He has like the kind of cool, almost like wings behind him, which also just make him feel very unique. He has the extra shoulder covers, even though one of them did kind of pop out, but I managed to push it back in. So I think he's also up there with Dino Charge Red. He doesn't have quite all the same details, but it's a unique character. It's pulled off really well in the figure form. And yeah, when I was posing with it and reviewing it, I just love playing around with him. So I've got to put him up there as A. Then maybe we go onto the Ninjettis. So the Ninjettis, I guess you could say most of them are very, they're the same. What I like about the Ninjettis, I think we have to at least put most of them in the B rank just because of how nicely they were pulled off. Like the Ninjetti Rangers or the Ninja Rangers, they were some of the Rangers that I had a lot of nostalgia for. Like I remember opening up, having the kind of ones as a kid where it would have like the weird arms like this. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but it would have like these weird arms and they would swing to punch. And I just really vividly remember the kind of diamonds on their shoulders, like how loose and plasticky their clothes felt. And I think they pulled that off really nicely in the Lightning collection because again, you have this really nice figure that has this unique sculpt. They all have 3 different heads. So even if you're not, a Power Rangers fan, maybe if you're only like the Super Sentai, you can still have the kind of covered head or the kind of head like this one that Rocky has, to kind of have them on a shelf. And I think the only difference is maybe that we can distinguish them by their face sculpts, because I think they do have some of them have different variants of face sculpt. So I think actually out of the Ninjettis, I don't have Cat. I have the other 5. I think my favorite is Billy. I think Billy I would put as definitely a B. I think the likeness is nice. I love the emblems on their shirts. Like I recently just reviewed Rocky, so make sure you go and check out that video. But that's one thing I really like, the emblems with the new animals on them. Like he has the wolf, the frog, the crane, the gorilla, and the eagle. So Billy's face sculpt I think is really good. Also Adam I would put in the B rank. I think Adam also, his face sculpts are always pretty consistent. They always look very good and very much like the actor. And also, again, like I said, the kind of the level of the Ninja Warriors or the Ninjettis, I think they deserve to have a B rank. The other one I would also put in the B rank is Kimberly, because I think, again, her face sculpt is nice. And also the body that she has, the female body is really, really good. I think I would put Tommy and Rocky in C. Mostly because of their face sculpt. I think still we haven't really had a good Rocky face sculpt. And as I said in my review, in hindsight, I actually think what the one for the blue Zeo, that face sculpt comes the closest to how the actor looks. because, or at least how he looks now. Like when I was watching the 30th anniversary kind of show that they did on Netflix, I was like, actually, when you look at him now, he does look quite similar to his Zeo Blue face, and I think that kind of that might be shown now that his weapons are released and people are kind of trying to get hold of the Blue Ranger and it's getting more expensive. Maybe that shows why. But yeah, I think the metallic Rangers and also the Ninjetti, his actually uncovered face isn't that great. Also for Tommy, I think the Tommy one is really bad. Like I think that face, I don't know how that got approved. The face looks really, really bad. I think it's so bad that you could argue for it to be in D, but like I said, I think the actual figures themselves, the Ninja Warrior figures or the Ninja Ranger figures, are just really good. So I'm not going to put it in D. Also, a funny story with my Tommy is that when I got him, he was actually placed in the packaging upside down. So I have a review for that on the channel that you can find, and maybe I'm rolling some B-roll here if I still have it. And yeah, when he arrived, it was upside down, which was weird. I don't know if it was when it went, because it went through customs, because I ordered it from the UK. Maybe they opened it up, or maybe it was just a Hasbro QC weird packaging thing. But yeah, the face sculpt for the Tommy is really bad. All of the other ones are fine, but his uncovered face is pretty terrible. And I think for the Yellow Ranger, I would put her in B, because again, the sculpt is great. The hair looks fantastic. I love the braids. Yeah, you might have to. Is it Aisha or was it the other Ranger? I can't remember exactly who it is. I'd need to double check. But as a figure, I think she looks great. I think the likeness and just the hair is so different. It's something that we've not seen in a Lightning collection before. So I would put her in the B rank. Then maybe we go on to, since we were talking about it, the Blue Zeo Ranger. I think in general the Zeos are my favorite team, at least in Lightning collection form, because I just love the gold that they have on them. And again, they just bring me back to being a kid, having the Zeo Rangers and those designs. They're just so kind of streamlined compared to the Mighty Morphin and compared to stuff that came afterwards, because after all, they're just shapes. And I think, like I said, I think because the Zeo Blue, it's kind of coming back around. But I think because of the kind of questionable Rocky head, even though I think it is the best one, and also because it didn't come with his weapons, I think we have to put him in D. Even though the figure itself looks good, I think we have to give Hasbro a D for that one, because it didn't come with his weapons when all of the other Rangers did, or all of the other Zeo Rangers did, and the head sculpt at the time seemed really bad. So I think he's our first D. You can let me know in the comments if you agree with that, but I think we have to put him there. If we go to the other Zeo Rangers, because I have all of them, I just have to find them on here. Where can we start? Okay, so we can go for Zeo Red. So for Tommy, this one again, I like the Zeo Rangers. I would put the Zeos probably in B, because I think they're solid looking Rangers. I think again, I love the gold. I love the weapons that they come with, that they have their unique weapons. I think the Tommy head sculpt is also pretty good for the Red Ranger. I know a lot of people like to take him off the Red Ranger and put it on the turbo red that just came out. So it's nice that you can get a little bit of use out of that head if you want. And there's so many Tommy heads now that you can switch and change them however you like. So I think it's a solid B. And otherwise, I think all of them except Adam I would put actually in A. Mostly because he's a Green Ranger and I have a thing for Green Rangers. But again, like I said, the Adam head sculpts are pretty consistently good. I think this one is really good. I love that he has the earring. He was also, I think, the first Lightning Collection Ranger I reviewed on the channel. And I love the weapons. The weapons are good. And I think there's just something with the Green Rangers that just looks fantastic. Green and gold. It just goes so well together. So for me, I would put him in A. For the other ones, for Zeo Yellow, again, I think we have a really good head sculpt, and it's pretty consistent. What I would have loved and what would have pushed it into A for me is if the what they call the nunchucks, if they actually had like real chain on them, that would have been cool. Like, I really don't like nunchucks when they have a plastic chain, because they always lie in like a weird stance, like they're always like half floating in the air. And I've seen some people mod their Zeo Yellow Rangers and put like a chain in the middle. And I think yeah, if I was into modding, that is what I would do too. But I would, yeah, I think that would be the thing that would push this one into A for me if it had a chain on the weapon. But again, nice figure. I actually haven't opened it. I just have it still in box. So you might think I'm a bit, you know, you might take this one with a grain of salt. But just from looking at the figure itself and the head sculpt, I think it's also a solid B. Then we have the cat dual pack. So I think both of these figures are good. The only problem was for me was that the shield on cat broke. So it basically has like a clip that goes around like this, around her arm, and the clip broke in half. So now the shield doesn't fit on her arm. She can only hold it, but the holding it is just like a pin that goes in like this. So it never really like it never gets held nicely, if you know what I mean. But otherwise, the Pink Ranger, the Mighty Morphin Pink, also is quite nice. And the head sculpts are really good. But I think for me, because I had it break, we have to put it in C. And what I actually liked about this one was that I think the Zeo Ranger has the black soles on the boots, and that's just like one detail that I really like, that they do that because it's correct to the show. So we have all 5 Zeo Rangers. We can go to the Gold Ranger. So the gold one, I think gold I have the one, it's not the Jason one, it's the other release. You could argue maybe for A, but I'm going to put it in B. Again, I think it's a nice Ranger. It does look a little bit dated. I don't know if it's whatever plastic they use for the moldings, but it does look, mine at least looks a bit like worn out, and it shouldn't, because it's brand new. But it's nice. It's nice that you get the staff. It's nice that you get the other head sculpt. It looks great with all of the other Zeo Rangers. You also have the effect piece, which looks fantastic. So it's a good solid figure again, but I don't think there's anything that really pushes it into A for me. If we look through some of the other, so maybe the Zeo Cog, I would actually put this one in A. I only have the single one. I don't have the dual pack, but the Zeo Cog I think is one of the nicest Lightning Collection figures. I love the kind of swirly metallic they managed to get onto the body. Like, I know it's just kind of like a silver plastic that they use, but I love how metallic it looks, and it fits perfectly to the cog. Again, it has a lot of gold in it. You have the 2 different head sculpts, you have the 2 different weapons, and it also came with Zeo Blue's weapons. So I think this one we can put into A because it is such a nice figure. You have a lot of options. Obviously, if you want an army build, you have a lot of options there. You also have the actual weapons, and I guess that was Hasbro trying to make up for its mistake and just making this figure extra nice. Then maybe we go on to, why don't we go on to Dino Thunder, because I have red, blue, and yellow. Let's start with yellow. I think yellow is is pretty nice. The thing with, I think, the Dino Thunder is they do have quite a few mistakes, especially, or not mistakes, but there's just a few little details lacking. Like the morphers aren't painted, some of the weapons aren't painted properly, and I think they're nice figures. I haven't got white, but I know there was the issue with the visor on white, and I haven't got black yet. So I think, to be honest, I would put them all into C. They're nice figures, but they do have issues. They're all a little bit inconsistent with each other, and yeah, I think that kind of means that we have to put them into C because we don't want inconsistencies in teams. You might argue there are other inconsistencies. I know there's some issues with visors on some of the other teams, but I remember, you can see here, this being a big one, with it being like silver, white, and this one having like barely any. And again, I feel like these figures and these designs, they're the most toyified ones because they're so simplified. And I think it would have been nice if they'd added a little bit of extra, if they'd added the paints to the back of the hands for the other two, for yellow and blue, if they'd added the white paint onto the staff for red, like things like that. Like, I feel like they just missed, and it just kind of brings down the figure in total. So that's Dino Thunder. We can go maybe then on to, why don't we do the Time Force figures? I should have the Time Force. Yeah, so these are the vehicles. It's a little bit hard to see in the cut-off picture, but this is Time Force Blue with the Vector Cycle, and this is Time Force Red. Time Force Blue Vector, for me, I would put it A. I think you could shout, this could have a shout at bin S rank, The only problem was my figure had really, really loose legs. And I've heard a few people say that there are little bits of issues with some of the figure's joints. But otherwise, this actually way exceeded my expectations. Like, I bought it, reviewed it actually because you guys voted for it. And I was expecting like an okay Time Force Blue figure, but I thought the bike was going to feel very cheap and very flimsy and plasticky. I was expecting it to be a bit like something you would get for free in a Happy Meal. But that wasn't the case. When it came, the bike itself is like chunky and heavy, and you have to build it up, and like there's like little details on it that are really nice, like on the handlebars there's extra buttons and stuff stuck on. There is the kind of the windscreen that goes over the top, and the Gatling guns at the side that you can twist them. And also that there's a stand was really nice. And then again, yeah, the Time Force Blue figure I think is really nicely done. Like I'm always really impressed how precise they get the kind of the arrows, because that is like a case where I think you could have some mistakes in that. You could have some kind of misprinting and have wonky arrows. I haven't seen any. Mine are very much in the middle, especially on the helmet as well. It looks good. I think if it didn't have the issue, or mine didn't have the issues with the legs, I would put it in the S rank. And I think we can also, yeah, the weapons are nice. Like that you get the blaster, you get the dual kind of swords that you can stick together to make a staff. So I think the bike definitely elevates it into the A. I think for Time Force Red, I would put that in B. I think it's another solid figure. It has all of the same things as Time Force A. Mine's legs weren't that bad. It's on the or weren't bad at all, I should say, for Red, because it's on the old body. Yeah, I think it's a solid figure. I don't think it's anything too special. I think the likeness of I think Wes is the character, right? I think it's good. It's a good figure. There's nothing that makes it stand out for me, really. I know it's quite an expensive figure now because it's kind of hard to get hold of. But yeah, if you kind of look at it, or if I look at it, I think it's a good figure, but nothing special. So then we have, why don't we go kind of back towards Mighty Morphin and Zeo with the Tango Warrior. Again, I think that I would put this in A. I think it's one of those things where it with the enemies of like the grunts, I always expect them to be just like, okay, let's just make them quick because we need grunts and not have much detail. But the Tango Warrior has all of this different parts of its wings so that you can make it have like more feathers or less feathers. It has the egg, it has the really cool unique I think it's a unique action piece. It has the beak that opens, and it has this really nice kind of metallic paint on the feathers that every time you move the figure in a direction, you see something new. And that's what I really love. I love that they just put like this little bit of extra detail into it, into a figure that you could say maybe, all right, it's a grunt figure, so we don't have to worry about it too much. And also the design, the design is meant to be that they all look the same. But no, I think they pulled it off really, really nicely. I was really impressed when I opened it because I had such low expectations, and I think it definitely deserves to be in the A spot because it is, it's a great figure. Then what can we go through next? We can go through the Mighty Morphin stuff that I have. I just have to have a refresher of what I actually do have, because everything is sort of blending together a little bit. Maybe we can go for the Astronomer and Ecliptor dual 2-pack. I think she's called Astronomer. I remember when I made the review, I actually wrote her name down wrong, so I hope it's Astronomer. You can let me know, or Andromeda. I can't remember which it is, but I think this is also an A class figure, mostly because for me, I only bought them because I was expecting the Omega Rangers to come out, and those two kind of feature in the Omega Ranger comics, so I wanted to have them for that. And again, it was a little bit like the Tango Warrior. I wasn't really expecting too much from them. I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, I'll just buy them so that I can pose them with the Omegas when they come. But then when I opened them up, I love the amount of details on Astronomer or Andromeda, whatever she's called. And obviously Ecliptor is a very unique sculpt, has unique weapons, has a really cool like Palpatine thunder or lightning effect coming from his hands. They just have like nice little aspects I love on Andromeda or Astronomer's face. She has like the earrings, she has like the necklace, she has stuff on her hands. She has like the boomerang that you can clip on the belt. Again, there's just like little details that when you look at the Rangers, which I guess are the mainstay of the Lightning collection, you don't get any of this stuff really, like, because that's just not how the designs work. But with these other characters that aren't based around just having like spandex on and a helmet, you get all of this extra detail. But I didn't watch In Space, and didn't really have any. I didn't know who these two characters were until I saw them in the Omega comics. And so again, I wasn't really expecting much, but when they arrived and when I opened them, they looked fantastic. I really enjoyed posing with them, and I can't wait to get the Omega Rangers because they haven't arrived yet in Europe. But I can't wait to get them so that when when I do get them, I can pose them with these really cool figures. So I think they deserve an A spot. So what other jewels do we have? I don't have any of these. I would love to have this one, the what is it, the Dragon Spirit one, but I don't have it. I don't have any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones. I do have this one. I have Scorpina and Mighty Morphin Yellow. I think again I would put these in A because Mighty Morphin Yellow is what it is. Like I bought this jewel pack to get Mighty Morphin Yellow because I didn't have the original Trini release. Now I do have it. But again, it was like, okay, I really want this figure, Scorpina, okay, whatever. But then again, like getting her out and just seeing her design and her sculpt looks fantastic. The only thing I'm thinking now though is that the gold isn't quite metallic. So I think actually if the gold was more metallic, and I've seen people do repaints of it, which looks fantastic. So I think actually I will put them in B just because of that. But yeah, again, it's having like a nice, unique character. I think putting them in a 2-pack with like a more recognized Ranger, and I mean Scorpina is definitely recognized, but maybe people wouldn't buy her on her own. So it's cool to put her in this 2-pack because yeah, if not, I probably would not have bought her, and then wouldn't be so impressed. But I think I think A would have been okay if the gold looked a bit more like metallic rather than plasticky. But we have that issue actually, to be fair, with most of them. Like you can see here with the Street Fighters, this is how the gold kind of looked, like very plasticky yellow. And I feel like it should look more like how Shredder's looks, like more metallic, gold and shiny. So, yeah, let me know in the comments, like if you think it should be A or B. If you say it should be A, or the most people say it should be A, then in the live stream tomorrow I will move her up into A to her rightful spot. But let me know down in the comments. So then, yeah, even though I love Cobra Kai, I don't have any of the Cobra Kai figures. I don't have the monsters, so it's actually showing me how many figures I actually don't have. Don't have the Dragon Shield, I don't have the Metallics, don't have the Cell Shade, don't have Finster. I do have Goldar. I have the wingless one. I can't remember if this is the wingless one, but let's just say it is because I don't have the one with wings. But Goldar is an iconic character. I haven't actually opened him, so again, it's just me looking at him through the packaging. But it's a great looking character. Like he comes with his sword. I would say his gold does look more metallic than how Scorpina's does, and I just love the size of him. Like he looks big. He looks intimidating. I'm really looking forward to get him out of the box and get him fighting with the Rangers, because I think he's not going to look as big and chunky as King Sphinx. So I think he'll maybe feel a bit less like a toy and more like kind of like an action figure, and more like not in the correct scale, because I'm sure King Sphinx is, but he just has a lot more detail on it. You can see from his face, like the red eyes, the white teeth, and he has a black kind of fur coming down. Yeah, I think it's a great figure. I think I'm going to put him in A. Even though I haven't opened him up, I have a lot of high hopes and high expectations for him. So I think, I would put him in A. Then maybe continuing on with Mighty Morphin. We have Mighty Morphin Green, and this one I'm going to put in S. I think now that we have the remastered, you can see a lot of things that are wrong with this original Mighty Morphin Green. The color is off, the helmet is off, the gold doesn't look quite the right color gold, like I said with Scorpina. But until the remaster came out, this was by far my favorite figure, just because I love the Green Ranger, and I did think it looked good. Like again, it goes down to this kind of Green Ranger, green and gold effect. I think it looks like a great figure. It's I know there are things wrong with the diamond not being there underneath and some other issues, but I like that, you know, it comes with the dagger, obviously the dragon dagger. You get the Sword of Darkness, you get the cool Tommy sculpt with the bandana, and until the remastered came out, it was by far my favorite figure. The remastered, obviously, it does a lot of great things. Like, it improves. You can see the helmet difference. It looks a lot better. It looks more like an actual helmet, like someone's head is inside it. The diamond is there. It comes with like the extra stuff of the green candle, and it comes with the blasters, which is nice. The big thing it doesn't come with, though, is it doesn't come with the dragon shield. So I think because it doesn't come with his iconic accessory or his iconic piece of clothing, I'm gonna have to put it down to C, because it is a fantastic figure. It does look better than this one, but I just think Hasbro just did us dirty with that, and not specifically me, but the community and potential new fans maybe getting into the community, because I think everyone knows, or for most people, Mighty Morphin Green is their favorite or is the most well known. So I think for a lot of new people coming in, if they see this figure, they would want to buy this one first. But then, you know, he doesn't come with the dragon shield, so people have to buy the red one. And like I said, for me, it's not a big deal, because I bought both of them. I bought two of each, actually, so I have two sat unopened, just for collection reasons. But I think, yeah, not including a dragon shield just seemed a bit greedy, and I don't know, it's like making, I don't know, someone like Thor. It's like making a Thor figure but not including his hammer. You know, it's something that is very iconic to that specific character, and there was all of the marketing stuff behind it, why they did and why they didn't do it. But yeah, it's BS, to be honest. So I think we have to put him down in C, because yeah, I mean, screw Hasbro on that, I guess. Then maybe we continue on with the other remastered. Then we go to red, and I think red, you could also argue, is S tier. He has the right helmet. He has the dragon shield, which is a nice bonus if you are maybe only collecting Red Rangers. It's nice to have that version. You don't have to then spend another $40 or €40 or however much I paid for it for the dragon shield version that will eventually come out at some point. So I think you could definitely put it as an S tier figure. Problem is, for me, again, I had the same problem I had with Blue Time Force. He has bad legs. His legs are so wobbly and weak, and I think for me, that knocks him down a peg. Even though there are a lot of really good changes, and also the detail on the sword looks so much nicer now than the original one. But yeah, QC issues with Hasbro, it is what it is. I got a little bit unlucky, so I don't think I can put it in top rank, but I will put it in A. Then we have, where are they? Here, blue, pink, yellow, and black. Yellow, I think actually out of all of the ones that I have, yellow is the most consistent figure out of all of them. All of the Trini sculpt was really nice and done. The paint was great. The weapons looked good. Everything with the yellow one looked great. So I think she can also be an A. Billy, I'm gonna put down in C, because for me, and this might not be for you, but for me, he came with paint kind of blotches on his face. And so it was like under the visor, basically where it should be blue, it was black. And I was like, okay, I know the blue part is plastic, so I can get the black off. So what I did was I put some nail varnish remover on a cotton bud, and then just started to gently wipe it off. Problem was that I accidentally dabbed the silver of his mouth and then rubbed off some of the silver. So I was like, oh my god. So now I don't have the black there, but now some of his mouth is smudged. And for me, again, that's a QC issue that is just really annoying. Yeah, they did like some really nice stuff with the Billy sculpt with the glasses, that you can take them on and off. I love that they give people options. You also obviously have the options of the two kind of two forks being separate or having one long piece. You also get the morpher like you get with all of the other ones. But I think just because of that QC issue, I can't put it any higher. And I think for the other two, I would put them in B. I think they are both good versions of these figures. You get some nice bits alongside them. I think there's a question of whether, and with all of these remastered figures, there's a question of getting these little extra accessories. Does that really make up for the price hike? because again, these I would say are arguably the most popular figures. So, you know, most people want them, and then maybe for new people trying to get into the Lightning collection, the price is a little bit too much. Obviously for me, I was going to buy them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think again, if we go on, B has been like a solid figure. I think I would put these two in B because I didn't have any issues with them. I like the Zack head, I like the Kimberly head, even though all of them have a kind of cartoony feeling to them, or almost a comic book feeling. I think they are good. They are solid characters. There was nothing that's special about them. There was nothing wrong with them, so they belong in B. Whereas with these ones, I think you could argue the changes to red made it a little bit better. And like I said, maybe top tier level. But for me, yeah, the QC issues again and changes to yellow. I think yellow is just a really solid, a really good figure. So that's why it's there. So that was the remastered. Do you guys think we're going to get a remastered white at any time soon? Or when they come back, are we going to get a remastered white? Because I have the original white here, I think. Yeah, it must be this one. So, Wave 1 White Ranger. The first Lightning collection that I ever bought, before I even really knew what the Lightning collection was, I think I came across this on Amazon. It must have been whatever year, was it 2019? And I asked for it for Christmas off my grandma, funnily enough, because I was like, oh yeah, this just looks like a really nice version of the White Ranger. I just want to have it just because I like Power Rangers. I would never have guessed that years later I would have this many Power Rangers and have a YouTube channel about them. But you know what? I'm gonna put it in S. I think it's another one of those iconic characters. I think they've done it really well. The first one, I think the Tommy head sculpt is great with the hair tie. I think you could say like the sword, maybe they could have painted the eyes in, stuff like that. But I think it's very consistent. I don't think there's anything that's really gone wrong with it, or kind of it's aged well. Like some of the other figures, I think sometimes they don't really age that well. But the White Ranger, I still have it on my display. I have all of the Rangers, all of the Mighty Morphin, the old versions, with the helmets off, with the civilian heads and the helmets under the arms. Tommy stands right in the front in white, and it still looks great. You can still get it in really nice poses. It's a really good sculpt, and it was one of the originals. It was Wave 1. It's Mighty Morphin. Again, it's a Tommy figure. So for me, it's an S rank, definitely. Then what can we go on to? So we don't have Omega, we don't have any of the Psycho, we don't have any of these, we don't have these. We have green Dino Charge. So this is another one that I haven't got out of the box yet. It's a more modern one. I can't remember if he has his weapon with him, but I don't think he does. I think he still only has the sword. So I think I would probably then put him... I mean, he is a Green Ranger, so that usually gets him a little bit of a boost. But I'm going to put him in B, just because that is the safe bet. And right now I can't remember if he has his extra weapon with him. But again, the Dino Charge, I think just in general, that those figures look great. Like I love that they have the special arms with the kind of scaly look to them. You can see he has a unique helmet that matches the dinosaur. The face, the kind of civilian head sculpt looks really good as well. So I think we can go safe and put him in B. I think we can also go safe and put Pink in B as well. Pink does come with her unique weapon, which looks really good. I think if I'd opened her up and reviewed her, and if the review went well, I think she could also go into A. But just because I haven't opened her up, I'm going to just play it safe and have her in B right now. But again, up to you guys. If you guys think that she deserves to go into A because she's a more modern figure, let me know in the comments, and maybe in the stream tomorrow we can move her up. I just noticed that I have the Dragon Shield Black Ranger twice, which is a mistake, so I'll try and remove that before I put this Tiermaker live. Then I think we're kind of getting to the end of my figures. We have here Dino Fury, so I suggest you go and watch my Dino Fury review because it was quite funny. But Dino Fury Red, when I was reviewing it, the Dino Fury character, like the helmet and the suit, looks fantastic. I really wish Zeo had his kind of like antennae on him. I think that was one thing that they could have added as like a cool like little wink, and that would have been really, really awesome to have to just distinguish him from the other characters. But what happened was, it was QC issues. His head actually popped off, so I went to pull off. I put on his civilian head during the review, and then I went to take the civilian head off, and the ball on top snapped off. And yeah, I reached out to Hasbro, even sent them the video because I was recording it, and they basically told me, like, yeah, they can't give me a refund or they can't replace the figure. So that was a very bitter taste in my mouth. Like, now you can get him quite cheap, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I just completely put off these Rangers. Like, I know now we have green and we have blue out, and blue I really love, especially in Cosmic Fury. I love the kind of the arc that the Blue Ranger goes on. But I just can't bring myself to gamble on Dino Fury again. So yeah, that is going in D for red. The other two, we can maybe discuss it on the stream. But yeah, Dino Fury red has to go in the bottom one for me. And as we look through, what else do we have? So this is the version 2 Black Ranger with Adam. The Adam head, I don't have him because I have plenty of other Adam heads and also Blue Rangers. I don't have any of these. Wave 13, I would love to, 15, sorry, I would love to get a hold of, but you can't get them in Europe yet, which is annoying. Don't have these figures. I don't have these. So we have original Mighty Morphin Pink. I think I don't mind the original Mighty Morphin Pink, but I think there is some issues with it, especially the Kimberly sculpt. It's cool, like the kind of, I really like the visual effects that come with it. But yeah, I think it's just this one is such a vast improvement, and I think just because it is a vast improvement, we can't put them on the same level. So I think we have to put this one on C. I think for the time when it came out, it was a good version, but I think since then we've had like a nice Kimberly sculpt here. We have the new one here, which I think looks way better. And we've had so many weapons, even with the cat dual pack, we got new weapons for her. So I think, yeah, we have to put the original one in rank C. Then we have Lord Drakkon. So I do have this version of Lord Drakkon. I don't have the Evo one. And again, could be an argument for S if you are a big Lord Drakkon fan. I aren't the biggest, or I'm not the biggest Lord Drakkon fan, because the only thing I really know of Lord Drakkon is from the Omega comics. There he's an awesome character, but at least I only read the first 3 or 4 volumes, so I got to the bit where, spoilers, he morphs, but haven't got any further. But I think we have to put this in A. I think this is a really nice figure. Again, the character design is fantastic, and it's portrayed so well as a figure. The white, gold, and green, it's just these two combined perfectly. In the figure form, it looks great. I also really like the Tommy head with the scar and the longer hair, and him looking a bit older. It just fits the character and just looks fantastic. And what I really also like is the red kind of visor on him, which just adds something different to the collection, because every other one, has black. So having the red just makes him stand out on the shelf. I have a baddies shelf. He's at the front of the shelf alongside the Ranger Slayer, and who's on the other side, and the Green Ranger with the Sword of Darkness. So yeah, I think that kind of shows that he's the bad guy. I think he's the ultimate bad guy in Power Rangers, to be honest. Like, he's the most fleshed out. So yeah, I think we can put him in A. Then we have Mighty Morphin Red. There's good things and bad things about red. Namely, the first bad thing is the helmet. The helmet is really, really bad. But I think it does have a really nice Jason sculpt. And I think even though we didn't get a Jason sculpt here, the sculpt from the original one is as good as the new sculpts for all of the other heads. So I think that kind of elevates it a little bit more, that now for me, especially, I have one shelf with the remastered figures with their helmets on, and one shelf with the old figures with the new remastered heads on them. And I think it says a lot that Jason doesn't look out of place with these new ones. So now that we don't really have the issue anymore that we have this bad helmet, I think it's fair to say that this is a good figure. Like, they also re-released it, so it was easier to get hold of. That's how I got it. Originally, you couldn't, when I first started collecting, you couldn't get it anywhere, as well as Drakkon. And then they did re-release them, because I think these are from Wave 3, so they came out in like 2020, I think. Like, let me know if that's incorrect in the comments, but I think it's around them. So they did re-release it so people could get hold of it. Like I said, the helmet is pretty bad. It's way too narrow. And yeah, but I think it is a good figure. I think it's good enough. It has a really good Jason sculpt. So I think we put it in B. Then we go on to the Yellow Ranger, the original one. I think this is also similar to the original Pink. Like, for the time it was good, but now we've kind of moved on and we've had so many variations of the Yellow Ranger that I think the original one looks a bit dated. This is what I was saying about like white. White to me doesn't look dated now. It still looks great, but maybe that's because we've not really had any other white Rangers apart from the metallic one. But yeah, Yellow Ranger, I think the original one, it was an okay Trini sculpt. We have a better one now. It was an okay Yellow Ranger. We have a much better one now, especially the helmet. Just you can see here, it just looks more rounded. The teeth look a bit better, I think. The color, I think, is more accurate now. So I think we put it in C. It's like okay, but not great. Then we go on to blue. I think again we can probably rank blue in this same level. For the time it was good, but now we've kind of moved on, even though unluckily my blue isn't great. But again, you can kind of see the differences in the helmet. Like, this one is just way sharper, the visor is way narrower, it just looks more dangerous, where this one kind of looks a bit like more cheerful in some ways, like, because it's so round. Also the Billy head, the sculpt, again, it's one of those things that has aged, because it had the glasses like molded on, and I always felt like the glasses looked like they'd been left in the sun too long, like they were really cloudy. So again, I don't think that's aged so well. Now we have the ones where you can remove the glasses on from the remastered figure. So again, I think for the time this was a good representation of Mighty Morphin Blue, but I think we've moved on now, even though mine got messed up. And surprise, surprise, I will say the same for black. I think all of the same things. We have a better helmet now. We have a better Zack sculpt. Even though actually this Zack sculpt I actually quite like. Like I said, this one maybe it feels the most cartoony of all of the remastered head sculpts to me. But yeah, again, solid figure for the time. Now we have something better, so I think we have to rank it lower than this one. Then we go on to the putties. The Z putty. I think, I don't know, we haven't really got that many. I know there is a dual pack, but we haven't really got that many variations of the putty, and I think that shows that it is a good figure, because it's an army builder. You want to have it in your pictures with your Rangers to show kind of them beating up the putty. So I think it just shows how well they did this first one with like the effect piece on the chest and the different hands and arms, and then they kind of led on with that with the 2-pack and gave you even more accessories. So I think we can put this in A. I think it's a really good representation of this character from the show. What I would love to see is kind of eventually down the line is if we get more Lightning Collection, I would love to see more in like a soft goods like onesie. I think that would be really cool, because then it really feels like how it looks in the show. But I think it's a solid figure. It's a solid bad guy. Again, it's one of those ones where you don't expect much from them, but when they're done well, they're done really well. And if you don't have high expectations, then I guess they're easy to be exceeded. And I think this is again the case. As you can kind of see, there's a theme with me for the bad guys. So I think we can put it in A. I think it's a really good version of the putty. I don't think we need we don't need a remastered one. Like, we needed versions of remastered versions of the Rangers and Rita. So I think that shows how good it is. So I think we can put it in A. And then the final one that I have on this list is the Ranger Slayer, and I recently reviewed her, and this was one where again I was a bit like, yeah, okay, I don't really know this character because it's from the comic books, and put it up to a vote on YouTube for about who wants to see it, and this one I think she came second after which figure was it? It was another figure anyway, which I recently reviewed. But opening her up and getting her out and posing her, there's only one place it can go for me, and that is S tier. Again, such a unique design. Like, I love how it's obviously based on the Pink Ranger, but I love these big alien-like eyes to the visor. I love the kind of fins going back behind her head, the shoulder pauldron, the cape. Everything just makes her look sinister. Obviously the black and pink. But even like the unique belt, like she has the belt kind of, it doesn't just go straight across her torso, it kind of goes up and around her hips. Just like these, again, these little details that just make this figure stand out, make it unique and make it special. Just like, yeah, just elevates it. And again, it wasn't really a figure I was interested in. It was only because you guys voted for it on YouTube that I opened it up and reviewed it. But when I did, I was like, damn, I need to pay more attention to these bad guys and these other figures that I'm not so aware of. Because yeah, I when I first started collecting, I was so very fixated on getting the Mighty Morphin, and then that kind of snowballed into collecting all of these so far. But yeah, it's kind of nice to be able to now go back and slowly go through these other figures that I've had on the shelf for a long time, open them up, and it's a bit like I said with these two, that I didn't really know much about them, wasn't really expecting much, but because they are so unique, they have so much more detail on them, and they just stand out. So I think the Ranger Slayer is definitely an S tier figure, along with Rita, the original Green Ranger, their White Ranger from Wave 1, and the Ranger Slayer. So guys, I actually did notice that there is one team I've missed, and I think also one extra figure, which I will add to the roster for the stream tomorrow. The team that I missed is the Alien Rangers, and the figure I missed is the selfie series head where you scan your own face. That one needs to go on there. But I will add those to this roster, and I will put them on the rankings for during the stream. Those will be the first one I will do is Alien Rangers, because I have that team, and the selfie series will get through it when we go through the rest. But yeah, guys, so that is me ranking my favorite Lightning Collection figures from my collection. That took way longer than I thought it was going to. I thought I'd be done in like 20 minutes. But you can see we have a lot more to rank tomorrow in our live stream. So you can tune in. It'll be 8 p.m. So what we now, Central European time, which is 7 p.m. in whatever the British time is. I can't remember the name anymore. It used to be Greenwich Mean Time, but I think they have a different name now. But yeah, I will put all of the details for the stream in this description. So the idea is that, yeah, we have a 1-2 punch Friday night. This video goes out, hopefully people see it, and then they tune in for the stream tomorrow to watch it and help me rank the rest of these characters, because there are a lot of characters. These are the ones I don't have, so if you do have them, make sure you're in the stream tomorrow to get your favorite characters on the right place on the list, on the Tiermaker. And then this will get, finished. This will be my list for this version of Lightning Collection before the hiatus. And then we probably will do one in a couple of years' time if the Lightning Collection comes back from the hiatus, to be like, okay, the second section, or the second half of Lightning Collection, how do we rank those? And then maybe we can do one big one where we have all of the figures and we can go back to this and look at it. Like I said, after the stream, or in the stream description, will be the link to this Tiermaker tier chart. Yeah, so once the stream is over, or even during the stream if you want, as long as you don't turn the stream off, you'll be able to start making your own list. And if you do make your own list, yeah, please make sure you share them with me at NotToysAF on Instagram and Twitter, because I'd love to see how you rank them, and what figures you put in the S rank, what figures you put in the D rank. So far, for me, D has been kind of like mess ups. One where it broke, and one where it didn't come with what it should do. But yeah, I'd love to know what your criteria is, and I'd love to see you in the stream tomorrow. So please make sure you join. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. This video, this tier list took a long time to make. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of like very repetitive work, but it did take a long time. So I would really appreciate if you enjoyed the video that you leave a like on it. And if you're new, maybe if the algorithm found you for this video, please make sure you subscribe, because we obviously do a lot of Lightning Collection content on the channel. So if you like Lightning Collection, you should make sure you should hit that subscribe button. And otherwise, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope to see you in the stream tomorrow. And yeah, have a good evening or good day. Bye bye.